So I believe this is the house I'm looking for. Hi, so is this the house of a Mr. Rashid?
Yeah.
Great. So today I'm going to be conducting the 73 question interview with you. Do you mind if I come in?
Oh, sure.
Okay. Actually, before I come in, what made you want to buy this house for starters?
Well, it's double-story, and it's located in a really good part of Kabul, near the university and the zoo.
Great.
Let me show you around.
Thanks. So my first few questions will be pretty trivial. So first off, do you prefer to wear coats or thobs?
Well, I'm a man of tradition, so I prefer thongs.
Great. And what's your favorite pastime?
Listening to the radio.
What are some of your pet peeves?
When women cry, or when they don't wear burqas. Like, how are their husbands allowing them to be so inappropriate?
I agree. So what is inspiring you in life right now, Rashid?
Myself and my success.
Describe yourself in 3 words.
Masculine, successful, willful.
Wow, I love those adjectives you picked. What do you think makes you so masculine and successful?
Well, I exert a lot of control over my wife, and whenever she crosses a line, I will punish her.
Wow, that's so inspirational. Speaking of wives, actually, I heard that you recently married your new wife, Mariam. What's your favorite thing about being a husband?
Well, I like that I don't have to do the chores, and I've kind of missed having relations with women, if you know what I mean.
I know what you mean, yeah. If you don't mind though, could we have Mariam appear in this video? I'd really like to meet her.
No. Mariam is for my eyes only.
Of course. Sorry for asking such, a dumb question. So, how did you meet your wife in the first place?
Well, she's the daughter of a business acquaintance, and she was looking for a suitor.
Oh, nice. And what was your first impression of Mariam?
She was such a crybaby, but at least she's obedient.
That's great. And I see we're in the kitchen right now. Does Mariam do most of the cooking here?
Of course. I don't concern myself with such trivial womanly duties.
What is your favorite dish that Mrs. Mariam has made for you?
Dal. I like to eat it with rice.
Ooh, that sounds yummy. What do you think is your wife's most attractive quality?
Obedience.
Have you gotten Mariam anything special ever since the two of you tied the knot?
I got her a shawl that was pretty expensive.
Nice. And do you have any nicknames for Mariam?
Harami. I'm joking. I like to call her by her actual name.
Oh, that's great. So, do you mind if I look around your house a little bit more? It's gorgeous.
Sure, let me lead the way.
Thanks.
So this is
I'm sorry. Just before we go into the room you were, wanting to show, I was really entranced by, this picture right here. Is this a picture of baby you? And yeah, who is it?
That's my son Eunice. I'd prefer if we don't talk about him.
Oh, is he from like a previous marriage or something? Could I meet him if you don't mind?
Unfortunately, he died a few years ago in a tragic accident.
Oh, I'm really sorry to hear that. Is it okay if I look around this room a little bit more?
Honestly, I'd prefer if you don't.
Okay, yeah, I understand. I'll be on my way now. Is this the exit? Okay, no, this is the restroom. Care to explain this magazine right here?
Oh my gosh, Mariam, that insufferable woman. I'm sorry, this is such a disgrace.
Are you implying that this magazine right here is Mariam's and not yours?
Of course, I would never have that.
I understand, because looking at magazines like this is extremely against Islam and very haram, yeah. So I believe the whole time we've been in your bedroom. Is this the master bedroom?
Yes.
Okay, that's great. And speaking of the bedroom actually, have you and your wife been having any luck in bed, if you know what I mean?
Well, Mariam and I do spend a lot of time in bed, but unfortunately she's been having a series of miscarriages.
Oh, I'm really sorry to hear that. And I'm sorry for being, so insensitive as well. Let's move on to a more positive topic, shall we? I hear your shoe business is doing great.
Yes, of course. I offer high quality and low prices.
That's great. And what type of shoes do you sell?
A variety. I see your shoes are worn. I can get you a pair of Babao shoes.
Thank you. I'll take you up on the offer in the future. And where exactly is your shoe shop?
At the city. I'll have to show you another time because I'm a very busy man.
I understand. So we're gonna continue this interview a little bit later?
Of course.
Okay, thank you. Hello? Who is this?
Hi, Mr. Rashid. I'm here to continue the 73 questions interview from last time.
Oh, right, the interview. Yeah. Hasn't it been like 15 years since you last conducted this interview?
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's finish it up. Yeah, come on in.
So, I heard you got a new wife in town?
Yeah, I've actually gotten a new wife. She's younger and she's way more beautiful.
Congratulations on the marriage. Did you get her a ring?
Of course! What kind of husband would I be if I didn't get my wife a ring? I got my dear Laila a 22-karat golden ring, and believe me, it was expensive and it was way nicer than Mariam's.
Oh, I've heard that name before. Isn't Laila the daughter of Hakim and Fariba, that odd couple that lives down the street?
Hakim and Fariba don't exactly live down the street anymore. But yeah, Laila is their daughter. Yeah.
Wait, Hakim and Fariba no longer live down the street? Did they move away or something?
It's kind of a long story.
Could I hear the story then? I'm in no rush.
Yeah, of course. Let's go to the dining room table though. I don't want another mishap happening where you're snooping around and stuff again. Sit down.
So, the story?
Oh, sorry, the story, right. So Laila's family did live down the street a couple years ago, but unfortunately, there's a lot of warfare in Kabul, and a rocket actually blew their house up, and the parents were unable to survive. Laila almost didn't survive herself, and the only reason that she's alive today is because I rescued her from the rubble and I nursed her back to health. So yeah.
Wow, what an inspirational story. Do you think that Laila should be grateful for what you've done for her?
Of course. I literally saved her life. If anything, I should get a medal for what I've done.
I agree. And with her parents out of the picture, are you the only person Laila can rely on? I remember I used to hear rumors about her and that other boy, the one with one leg.
Right, the other boy. You mean Tariq. I'm happy to say that he's out of the picture as well, He moved away a few years ago and he passed away, unfortunately. I doubt Laila really cared about Tariq anyway, though.
Really, in my opinion, the two of them seemed really close. And just in case I'm not talking about the wrong girl, Laila is the girl with the green eyes, right?
Yes, Laila. She's got those green eyes, the blonde hair. She's a real beauty, especially compared to my first wife, Mariam. I've been having my eye on Laila ever since she was little.
Isn't that kind of pedophilic?
Pardon? What is it?
Never mind.
Oh, are we talking about Laila still? Well, since you keep bringing Laila up, I'll be honest, doing the horizontal tango with Laila has been a way better experience than it was with Mariam.
Okay. So, I recall that you and Mariam were having trouble having a baby a few years back. Are you having better luck with Laila now?
Yeah, I'm actually so happy to announce that Laila has been pregnant for a few months now. May God ensure that she does not miscarry though.
Wow, congrats. And do you think it will be a girl or a boy?
Oh, I know for sure that it's gonna be a boy. I can already feel it. And, I'm hoping that this son will grow up to be a great Palawan just like me.
I'm looking forward to it. And do you have any names in mind?
Yeah, I've had my eye on the name Zamai for a few years now. It's a really great sounding Pashto name.
I love that name, but on the off chance that the baby is a girl, do you have any girl names in mind?
I am confident that this baby will be a boy. This baby will not be a girl, so no, I do not have any girl names for the baby.
I guess that makes sense. And how's Laila been faring during the pregnancy? I'm sure it must have been really tough for her.
Laila, she's been same old. She's been crying a little bit, but I suspect that might be because Mariam hasn't been the nicest towards her. Other than that though, we've been a really happy family.
Oh, I'm happy to hear that. And let's talk more about your first wife, Mariam.
Yeah.
How's she been ever since you married Laila?
She hasn't exactly been the happiest. She didn't really take the news well when I told her that I was marrying Laila. But, I still have no regrets about marrying Laila. She's been a huge improvement over Mariam, that's for sure.
What? Really?
Yeah.
In what way, fertility aside?
Well, Laila, she's just so young and so naive. And that makes her so much more, submissive, obedient, and she's just so much easier to control.
Aren't you glad that your new child will receive a mother as educated as Laila? I've definitely heard of her smarts.
Well, I'm really hoping that my son will get an education, yeah. But Laila, frankly, she isn't all that, She thinks she's all that just because she's the daughter of some university man. But in reality, she's just being a show-off.
I see. And are your wives getting along now? It'd probably be a real pain if they're fighting all the time.
They're not exactly on good terms, but I'm hoping that Mariam will warm up to Laila eventually.
So, how's your shoe business been doing?
Oh, my shoe business. I'm so happy you asked. It's been going really great, business has been booming. I can't wait for my new son to inherit the shoe business once he grows up.
And what do you most hope that your son will learn from your teachings?
I'm hoping that my son will learn to be masculine, follow Islam, and exert great control and influence over his wives as I'm doing right now, I want to be a good role model for my son.
Toxic masculinity much?
Excuse me?
Oh, I was just joking. That was out of the line.
Okay.
And what do you think your future will behold?
What do I think my future will hold? I think my future will be one word: success. And honestly, I've got it great right now. I've got 2 wives. I've got control over those wives. I've got a baby boy coming on the way. What could possibly go wrong? I'm sorry. I think I just heard Mariam stirring something up again. I think we should cut this interview short again. Sorry. But let's meet again. I don't know, maybe in a few weeks. Yeah, thanks.
Okay.
Who is it this time?
Hey man, how have you been? You look a little different from before.
Oh my gosh. Is this the interview again? Okay, come on in. Yes, I have, been looking a little differently lately. And that's because life has just not been going my way, I'm just gonna sit down. I'm sorry. You can sit down as well.
Oh, thank you. I suppose something did go wrong. Did something happen between you and your wives?
Yeah, something did happen between me and my wives, I got my 2 wives suddenly teaming up and trying to run away together. Even though I've done so much for them, I've given them shelter, I've given them food, and they're not grateful at all. And now my entire shoe shop has burned down, so everything I've worked for in my life, all gone to waste.
Wait, how did your shoe shop burn down?
Some idiot in some neighboring shop, he was smoking and then he fell asleep and he forgot to put out his cigarette. So yeah, all the shops in that block just burned down, including mine.
Well, I'm really sorry to hear that. I do hope that your situation gets better. And right now, how are you earning your income?
I've been doing all sorts of small jobs at restaurants, but it's not been going well because I keep getting fired because I'm apparently too mean with the customers. Like, it's not my fault that the customers are monkey-faced Uzbeks.
Okay then. And how's your family doing? I hear that you've had 2 new additions to your family since we've last met 8 years ago?
Yes. Aziza and Zalmai, they're my 2 children, yeah.
And how did the pregnancy go for Laila?
I don't know, why does it matter how the pregnancy went for Laila? For me, it was really tough because I had to drive Laila all around town to, find a hospital that would actually treat her.
Are Aziza and Zalmai well-behaved children?
Honestly, let's go outside. I don't feel like sitting here. But yeah, Zalmai is really well behaved. He takes after his father, in terms of personality and looks. He's got my brown eyes, he's got my rosy cheeks. He practically worships me, so yeah, he's super well behaved.
And how about your daughter?
My daughter? I don't know, I guess she's right? I remember when she was born, she was not well behaved though. She kept crying and throwing tantrums. But like as of right now, I guess she's okay.
I believe I've seen your daughter around these parts. She has very pretty eyes, doesn't she?
Eyes? I mean, I guess so.
Well, I really like your daughter's eye color, and it's very different from both yours and Lila's. Did she get them from your parents?
No, the weird thing is that I have never seen Aziza's eye colors, present in any of my family, despite the fact that Aziza and I are, supposed to be related. So that's a real pity, but whatever.
Yeah, now that I think about it, it is quite strange. Well, speaking of women, what do you think about the Taliban's new rules on women's rights?
Honestly, I love the Taliban's new rules on women's rights. I'm hoping that they'll actually bring order to my wives for once.
And what were your wife's reactions to these new rules?
I don't know, Laila, being Laila, she just kept going on and on about how the Taliban's new rules were unfair to her and how they wouldn't last in the long run. But frankly, I don't really listen to anything Laila says anyway. She's the daughter of that babbling university professor. Thank God he's dead. And, he influenced Laila into thinking that she was deserving of an education and all those things that, frankly, Laila was not deserving.
Well, Lila sounds like a real pain, doesn't she?
Laila is a real pain, Honestly, I think about suffocating her to death sometimes.
And have the Taliban's new rules caused you to make any significant changes to your life?
Not really. All I've had to do is, grow a beard and visit the mosque, both of which I've been doing my whole life.
And what do you think about the Taliban in general, compared to the Mujahideen from before?
I hated the Mujahideen. They were greedy, they were corrupt. All they wanted to do was declare jihad on one another and kill anyone that came between them, including, innocent civilians. But the Taliban, they're doing a way better job. They're competent. They're actually bringing peace and order to Kabul for once.
Yeah, I agree that Kabul seems to be a lot safer now that the Taliban are in charge.
Exactly.
What do you think about the Taliban that is making them so much more successful than the Mujahideen?
Honestly, the Taliban have one thing that the Mujahideen did not, and that's the fact that they're actually united. I see the Taliban, they've already conquered 2 cities, Jalalabad and Sarobi. They've already captured the Hazara commander. They've been doing so much already.
Yeah, I agree as well. It's so nice to be under a government that isn't causing a total war zone in Kabul. Though, I must admit, I've been taking great pleasure in going to the Ghazi Stadium every Friday and watching criminals get punished. Have you ever watched any of those spectacles?
Yeah, I've actually watched those spectacles at Ghazi Stadium where they beat the criminals up, torture them, hang them. And I'm so happy that the Taliban is actually punishing them rightfully.
I feel the same way. But what do you think about the Taliban being able to beat up your wives legally? Should they be caught alone on the streets, perhaps trying to escape?
If my wives ever try to escape from me ever again, the Taliban can do all they want. They can beat them up, they can even kill them for God's sake.
Let's move back to the topic of your children. Have they been affected by you losing your job or the Taliban coming into power in any way?
I don't know. Ever since I lost my job, food has been, a little tight in the family, but I'm especially worried for Zalma, I don't want his development to be hindered, so I'm hoping that I'll bounce back, so that I can get more food and more money, and that, Zalma, he'll grow up nourished.
And how about your daughter?
My daughter? I don't know. I feel like ever since all these new changes, Aziza has only been more and more annoying, frankly, and I've honestly put a lot of thought into sending her to an orphanage.
Wouldn't your wife feel sad though?
My wife? Why do I care what Laila thinks? And frankly, why are you asking so many questions about my wives? Like, I feel like we've already asked 100 questions already.
Actually, it's only been 72 questions, so now I have one final question. What do you picture happening to you and your family in the future?
In the future? Well, I'm gonna be honest, we're not in the best position right now, but I'm confident that in the future, I'll be able to regrow my shoe business, and I don't see myself dying anytime soon, so hopefully I'll live to a really old age, like 100 or something, and by then, I'll hope to see Zalmai be the talk of the town for his handsomeness, for being such a great shoe business owner, and, Aziza, hopefully I'll have married her off to some sort of rich business acquaintance. Mariam and Laila, I don't know. Mariam will probably be dead by then. Laila, hopefully she'll be a little bit more submissive and less talkative than she is right now. So yeah, I'm confident for my future.
Well, it's been a pleasure to interview you over the years.